Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today at the Races at Laurel Park. Tim Tulloch joined by our man with the morning line and Equibase chart caller, Keith Fustel. Keith, yesterday was an interesting day. We thought going into the day it might be a little chalky. That didn't happen. Five of the 9 winners, double digits.
You got it. They were. I thought, the best one of the day for me, I thought, and I know you included this horse, was Moody Woman. I liked Moody Woman. Got 2660 on this horse. I think I had the horse second. You had the horse third. I was hoping for a little bit more flow when I looked at it. Some of it came out. Good effort wide. The one thing I took off the track yesterday, it looked like some horses just didn't quite handle it. Very powdery. We get into this winterized track, and sometimes some horses just don't get comfortable on it. And I saw a lot of horses spinning their wheels yesterday, and that does happen. You can tell me a little bit more from a trainer's angle, and you're out there every morning.
Sure. Sometimes horses just lose a little confidence when it breaks away from them. And, and you see that a lot of times with horses on the dirt and the turf. They get up on the turf holds them up. And they run a little bit better than on the dirt where it breaks away from it. And this time of the year, as you mentioned, it is a winter racetrack, and it does have a little bit more poof,
yes,
a little bit more give to it. You'll see horses that might not break as well this time of the year because they don't get that good push out of the gate, and what you were saying. So, and some of them love it. Some of them just absolutely love it.
Is it something where you have to adjust? And I'm clueless here. This is above my pay grade, from a shoeing aspect or a certain hoof, might grab the track a little bit better in situations like this, or no?
You can play with that sort of thing. Sometimes a little turn down will help, things like that. But typically, it's like anything else. They either like it or they don't. Or they get used to it after they get on it a bit. But when it gets cold, that racetrack's going to get a little bit deep, and it needs to be that way.
Sure,
to keep it
no
that way.
doubt.
So
right.
They'll get used to it. Some will adapt, some won't. But the funniest thing is, real quick, when we used to have Calder, and Calder was a very sandy-based racetrack, and you'd have horses running a Calder all year just kind of spinning the wheels, just like you said. They get a Gulfstream in January, and all of a sudden they start running holes in the wind, getting up on that racetrack that held them up. That was back in the old days. It's a little bit different now. But we've got a nice card here this afternoon. We've got a big card tomorrow. It is Winter Carnival right here at Laurel Park. 6 stakes totaling $550,000 in purses. We're going to talk about 4 of those 6 states later in a lightning round, but a very, very big day here. And when you come out here, you can wager on the Pegasus World Cup. World Cup is tomorrow. 3 of the big races on the whole card, but we have 3 World Cup races. We have a wagering guide. Just download at first.com/guide. That's available now for your wagering guide.
And that's good. You've got picks and strategies from the experts, right? So they're down there. They're on point with their information. And sometimes, days like this, you get busy days, you need to kind of lean on somebody else. And hopefully our people down there at Gulfstream will be able to kind of point you in the right direction. I'm sure they're going to dig out some winners for you.
And Naomi Tucker's down there also. I'm sure she's part of that wagering.
Yes. I mean, so I'm sure she's going to give out some winners. But absolutely. I tell you, I don't get a chance to dig into the cards like I'd like to, and you got a day like that with some really good betting opportunities. You want to get yourself involved, so concentrate. A little Laurel and a little Gulfstream.
And speaking of betting opportunities at Pegasus World Cup, look at this. A late pick 5 guaranteed pools, $750,000. Same in the late pick 4, $750,000. They have a mandatory payout in the pick 6 at Gulfstream tomorrow. So there's going to be opportunities galore both here at Laurel Park and our sister track, Gulfstream Park, for the Pegasus World Cup. But today is Friday, and that can only mean one thing. It's Stronach 5 Friday. I'll have a ticket for the Stronach 5 a little bit later, but it gets started in our race 9 as leg A, and then we go to Santa Anita Park. Leg B, their race 3. Leg C is at Gulfstream Park, their race 9. Golden Gate Fields for leg D, their race 3, and then we finish it up back at the Great Race Place, race 4, leg E at Santa Anita Park. So there you have it. Stronach 5 today. $43,000 it paid last week. That would be nice.
We are accustomed to big payouts with that wager. And again, so look, starting your weekend on a Friday, you get you started with the Stronach 5 and then leading into those great wagers tomorrow. So hopefully catch a little bit, build that bankroll for tomorrow's action.
Hopefully so. Let's take a quick look outside at the track. The track has been very, very good. It's nice. Horses, like you said, some of them aren't getting a hold of it as well as others, but it's a good, comfortable temperature out there today. Not much wind, 32 degrees.
And I think another thing, too, when temperatures get like that, it's a little tricky as a track manager. Can you put a little bit of moisture in it? Can you not? What do you do? So, you have to kind of go back and watch races on days like yesterday and mark some of those horses down you thought that would perform. It certainly looked like they were going to perform better.
Yeah, and it was quite cold yesterday. It's a different day today, and you can always already look at the racetrack and kind of see there's a difference in the color. I don't think this racetrack may play a little differently than it did yesterday. Horses will get a hold of this today. As the temperature rises, you do get a little bit of moisture in the track.
Yeah.
And tightens it up a little bit.
Perfect.
And that might be the case today. Well, let's get this thing going here. Big day. Race 1 kicks off the early pick 5. As always, 50-cent minimum, 12% industry low takeout. It's a mandatory payout for the early pick 5. We have a big carryover in the late pick 5, which we'll talk about here a little bit later. But early pick 5 gets started right here. Let's start with both our top picks. That's a 4 Steely Band. Malvalquio Enriquez returns for Anthony Ferrier. First off the claim for Anthony Ferrier, this horse was a winner. We're going to go back and look at this race from December 19th.
Oh, yeah, and got the job done here. First off the claim, 3-1, pretty square price on this horse this particular afternoon. Was able to kind of sit out there about 4 wide, just measuring the pace. He kind of moves up pretty comfortably here. You see this 3 wide shifting about 4 wide mid-turn and goes up, takes command, heading towards the 8th ball and just kind of dominates here. Wins off by 3 1/4. Comfortable victory. I thought rode the better part of the racetrack out there, 3-4 wide. Got kind of eager here. So I think, Ferrier does the right thing. When trainers are rolling, they're hitting in high percentages. They take no prisoners, right? Let's go tack. Let's go right to the right level this horse belongs. Right back for the nickel, 2 in life. And we got a stat to back that up for Ferrier for some of his moves. Second off the claim following a win. Look at this. The last 3 years, he's 5 for 12, 42% with an ROI of 3.11. Steely Band, not a lot of real true speed signed on, Tim. Should be able to kind of put herself into the race, certainly early on, and I think take it from there.
Well, it's a perfect spot. I mean, it took her 23 times to break her maiden, and she broke her maiden for maiden 10. They're usually worth half that in open company. Anthony does the right thing, makes as easy as he can on her to repeat that victory. It worked since that last race. And sure, she looks to me like the one to beat. You do have the 5, Pass It On. This is a 7-year-old mare who's still looking for her second win. But her last race was a little bit better, and she has some other races that are okay. They're competitive with this group.
She looks like the major danger to me. I know the 6, got some okay fakes coming off a Presque Isle win, but I don't know if that horse is really a dirt horse. Charlie, the 6. But Pass It On comes out of a pretty productive race. Fearless Lassie came out of there, I think, and ran well on a rise. Notion Interruptus came back to win. Yeah, this looks like to me the main threat. Wouldn't surprise me if Pass It On gets it done. And it looks like she will be into the race early with Angel Cruz.
4-5 for both Keith and myself in the opener. Race 2 kicks off the early pick 4, and Keith, you put together a ticket. Let's check out how you played it.
Yeah, we got a Jack Luskin special here, $6.
Wow.
Okay, get you started 2 deep with the 1 and the 4 Targe and Spanakopita for Damon, 2 to 1, 9 to 5. Those 2 on the line. Race 3 with the 1, 3, and 4. Start with a bang. Yeah, gonna be the favorite in there, I would think. Got a negative stat, though. I'll talk about that. Lacey's very capable, but I'm a little concerned about when I saw that stat. Race 4, 1 and 6. They look like the 2, and we're going to single Charming Way. Kind of chalky today on my selections. I was kept looking, trying to get some higher price horses. Couldn't do it. So there you go, a little $6 ticket. And maybe get that bankroll started for later down the road.
We can split it today.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. I think I've got $3 in my pocket. So,
well,
I'm going to have to.
My wife laid a 20 on me this morning, so I'm in good shape.
Isn't that nice when you go out the door and you're like, honey, can I get, you get that little extra little stash somewhere? Yeah, exactly. Well, she goes, that's at least kind of.
They always have it,
Yes.
Always have it. Race 2, Fillies and Mares, 4-year-olds and upward. We started for a claim price of $25,000 or less, in which the number have won 2 races going 3/4 of a mile. We're going to start with your top pick. My top pick, actually your top pick, Spanakopita.
Yeah.
Spanakopita,
yeah.
For Damon Deldavico, coming off a good maiden score on December 17th. And this will be second off the break. Summer Odds would come out of that race and win yesterday.
Yeah, it didn't run extremely fast, Summer Odds, but I just like the way Hispanic Capital did it last night. Good speed and debut, then really rated kindly, just off the pace to make that move, attack move around the turn. They came up okay. Targe, I guess, is clearly run against better, consistently run against better horses, right? It looks like fresh speed from the inside. I think this horse is definitely going to be prominent, Targe, throughout. But I think this horse is showing a little talent here, a little protect move here for Damon. I like Damon later in the card as well, so maybe it's going to be a good day for the Dilla DeVico.
Damon could be up for a big day. Yep. I have my price play of the day here, and that is the 3 closer to the heart for Benny Feliciano. A good race in his last race, her last race, going a mile. She turns back to 3/4 of a mile today. Been mainly running on the turf, but you go back, you see a good race going 3/4 of a mile in October 2020. I just think she's trying to get it a little bit better right now. So I'm going to take a little shot on closer to the heart. Carlos Lopez, Ben Feliciano in race 2. Race 3 is a maiden event going 3/4 of a mile. Maiden fillies and mares, 4 and 5-year-olds. And we're going to start with your top pick. This is the one. Toss a coin. Yeah. Kevin Gomez for Timmy Keefe. A second off the break this afternoon. It's had a work since, but what might be key, it's going to get a fast racetrack.
Going to get a fast racetrack. Ran okay sprinting on the turf. Those a couple of horses out of that race. Back in Come Valor, we saw run well, right? Yep. Yesterday ran okay. We're in there a long way. So, yeah, I'm not in love with anybody in here. I think there's plenty of flow up top. Silver's Girl might be the quickest of the quick. Mexicali Rose, and you've got that stranger coming in. She's a double take with the rider service. Pennington, right? Did you get any rider change? I didn't get anything yet on that. But, yeah, so I just think it's going to set up for somebody from off the pace. Toss a coin might be a cut below, start with a bang, but I like the price that I'm going to get for that one. Lacey, start with a bang.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah, 0 for 14, maiden special weight, the maiden claiming the last 3 years on the dirt. 0 for 19 overall on all surfaces. Listen, could easily be 1 for 15 or 1 for 20, however you want to look at it. This horse should be rolling into this pace.
Well, it comes into this race, and I have her on top, but I certainly have some questions. Has not run since November 7th. She comes in with 2 very well-spaced work, November 28th and January 23rd. So there's a big gap in between the works. That always catches my attention by the figures. Yeah. Clearly, she looks like she's the best horse in the race, and dropping down to this maiden 25 out of the maiden special weight and the maiden 40, where she ran quite well the race before. But yeah, there's no doubt about it. She's a little suspect. I have her on top. Let's talk about She's a Double Take a little bit, because I didn't use her. Callie uses her, and you use her, coming second off a very long layoff. And boy, she really got her hammered coming first off the layoff. Yeah,
the winner, Gallop, just ran off the screen. I watched that race this morning. Was caught 4 deep, outside of horses into the turn. Made a mild middle move, but just kind of faded. Certainly, that was a 600 and some day break. Comes back off of that. Has speed. I think we'll be pressing the issue. It's going to be that latter part. His biggest concern for me, because Mexicali Rose Silver's Girl is very quick. I don't think she's going to be able to just kind of shake away from this group.
Yeah. The Silver's Girl, I just wish we'd do something different. I mean, it's not working. I would like to see her. I don't think she's without talent. I just don't think she really wants to go that way. I would like to see him just kind of
try to take her back a little bit.
Take her back a little bit. See if she can come with some finish, because Plan A isn't quite working so far.
They've had time too, Tim, to kind of maybe change the pattern there. You see, all since November 12th.
Outside draw today, and maybe that will work for Silver's Girl. But that's race 3 as we move to race 4. Race 4 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. No carryover from yesterday. It got taken down for $12,000. That's not a bad day at work. $12,000 yesterday, the Rainbow Pick 6. Kelly Francois put together a ticket, and this is how she plays it. She goes 2 deep in race 4. She uses the 1 Pardsy and the 4 Deshackled for, the 6 Loaded Sniper coming in for Timmy Kreiser. They're my top 2 picks also. 6-7 in race 5. In race 6, she singles on the 6 in that event, and that is my top pick also, Military Hop for Jamie Ness. 2-4-5 in race 7, goes deep in race 8, and why not 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and race 9 deep again 2, 5, 8, and 9. $48 ticket in the Rainbow Pick 6 for Kelly Francois. Good luck if you play along. Race 4 is a non-winner, is a 2 lifetime, 16,000, going 5.5 furlongs for 4-year-olds and up. And we're going to start with your top pick, Keith. This is the 1 Pardsy for Jamie Ness, and this one ran on December 31st. We're going to pick that race up at the Quarter Bowl.
Yeah, I thought this horse ran very well off of a 432-day break. Out 3 wide, makes that bid in duels with one more factor into the stretch. Hair of the Dog just a little bit better. Another big effort here. Hair of the Dog at a price. Came back, though, Hair of the Dog in a 63 next time out against much, much better. But Pardsy certainly is going to move up, I would think. Off of this race was protected, as I said. This day, up to the 16,000. This is just a bob here. Tough beat for the connections. I think coming right back, Fast Track should be fine. Looks like the main competitor looms outside with Loaded Sniper. The question mark, dirt for Loaded Sniper.
Yeah, well, going back to Pardsy, also this will be second time with Jamie Ness. We know they tend to get a little bit better, but that was a big race with a good figure. Yeah, I like Loaded Sniper here this afternoon. There's nothing that says this one can't run on the main track. You know, Reload was by Hard Spun out of a Quiet American Mare, has been working well up there at Penn National. I mean, showing a nice work, 47-2. So it appears that he is handling the main track without too much difficulty. Those are good figures in his last 2 races, so that's what I'm going to go. And good results.
Comparing his figures to Pardsy's up at Woodbine, clearly better is Loaded Sniper. He's quick. He got away from that field last time on the drop. It stayed on that left lead, didn't switch over. 8% trainer to a real high percentage trainer, about a 30% trainer. We'll see. And Reload, I did look at that stallion. Not a lot of tries on the dirt, but runners are 27% sprinting on the main track. So, yeah, there's a little. If you like Loaded Sniper, that might just kind of make you like him a little bit more.
Put you over the top.
Yes.
Put you over the top.
Yep.
That's race 4, and the kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll talk about the late pick 5, which comes with a nice carryover.
Pegasus, the divine winged horse that flew with heroes mounted for glory. Arrogant, gun runner, city of light, mucho gusto, and Knicks go. Racing, the thunder and the lightning on the track, energy in the stands. 5, fashion, entertainment, all for one.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Race 5 kicks off the late pick 5, and we have a carryover from yesterday's late pick 5, $8,013. So you'll want to get involved in that. Nice carryover in the late pick 5. And the 5th race is for maiden fillies, 3-year-olds going 5.5 furlongs. Maiden claiming price $25,000. We've got a couple horses in here, a couple fillies in here, taking advantage of the fact that these Maryland breds can come into this maiden 25 and not be eligible to claim. It was a slippery slope, and we keep sliding down it, but that's okay. They can do it. Let's go. Charming Way coming out of that maiden 40, where she ran very, very well. We're going to look at that race, and we start about the round 3/8 pole right here.
We're going to start it around the 3/8, and I will tell you, we didn't show you the start, but she kind of walked out of the gate, just came away slowly, gave up maybe a length and a half, 2 lengths right out of the gate, and then just kind of drug Toledo up to the inside of Rivals around the half-mile pole, and then when he swings out, makes a good sustained run, 4-5 wide into the stretch, hooks money's worth, but just doesn't quite get the job done. A little, maybe a touch of hangman. Had a lot of work to do after that start, but you talked about it, Tim. That was a maiden 40 in for the waiver. With the pot that she's got 37-8, why not do it? Let's run for this condition. Okay,
sure.
We catch a batch that's got some questionable speed involved. Even if she walks out of the gate again, even if it's a little shorter, 5.5, I think she can roll past this group at a short price.
And hopefully she gets away a little bit better today. That was a nice figure she ran that day, 64. That will get the job done here today. That's Callie Francois' best bet of the day, the 6 Charming Way. To the outside is the 9, Miss Casey. Now, this is one I overlooked, and when I looked at your picks and I started looking at this one, I went, this might be a mistake, because when I looked at her a little bit closer, you see the races right here in Maryland that are too far off.
Right. I think she's a little bit better here than she was at Charlestown, back on the track. Draws outside. Yes, she may have deal with some other speed. I like her two-back try with the adversity, bigger field, lunged at the break, you
Sure.
see, made a little move, and kept trying. She is Whiskey Miss Foxana. Some quicker horses. I'll lay her in there. I think she's going to sneak away today, finally, at an okay price.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And I might be having a little buyer's remorse there. The 7 Blue Indigo coming out of the same race as Charming Way. I just, right now, I'll be honest, I just don't know what to expect with the Perkins runners.
Yeah, I mean, trying to pick it up. We saw the firster have a little bit of trouble out of the gate yesterday, never really fired, but comes off of a top number. Ran, I thought, credibly based on the way the racetrack was playing on the 17th, slightly negative inside. Got away there and got the lead sooner than what I thought, but took that pressure and battled. I thought, all right, I don't know if she necessarily needs the front. It's going to be interesting, though, because she's got speed just to her outside with Always Me and Miss Casey will force the issue. They look like the main 3 speeds in here. So, yeah, maybe Cruz will go ahead and try to sit just off of it and make her run. We'll see.
Sit off of it in clean air and see if she can come with some sort of finish. As we move to race number 6, kicks off the late pick 4. This is a starter allowance, $5,000 starter, going the 1-turn mile. And Keith, both you and I have the 6 Military Hop on top for Jamie Ness. Jamie Rodriguez gets the call. This is a winner of 2 in a row, and stretches out for the first time for Ness today. That race 2 back on 7/8, pretty big effort.
Yeah, beat a softer group, no doubt about it, but did it in just dominant fashion. The number worked off of it, up off of that, a 79 next time out, stretching back out, but the flow shouldn't be too demanding for Military Hop. Looks like a horse can carry. You said it again earlier with Ness, the second time off the bench from November 22nd, kind of an effort, just dominated on the drop. Looks like he's got this horse back in key form. But, yeah, if he takes a little pressure, things get a little dicey up front. I come back with a 4 in here. Can't take it anymore. An upset winner, 2 races back against hashtag winning, a horse that's, apparently a really strong starter allowance type here and at Penn. I can dismiss the race at Charlestown. That 2-back race works for me. I think this horse is still in the mix, and again, should float around that 5-6 to 1 price.
The 5 Lost My Voucher. Lost My Voucher is like the hot girl. I mean, this one just keeps going back between Claudio and Ferris Allen, like 3 or 4 times. I think they're 2-2 with this horse with wins. But coming out of a good race, I mean, probably a lateral move this afternoon, maybe a little bit of a step up.
Yeah,
I mean, by the numbers, it's a step up, but been in good form.
He has. He's been trying. I think he's still got to run a little bit faster than what he has done. But he's a nice horse. I'm looking 5 for 17. He's kind of sits in position. He always kind of he makes a run into it. Against us, just a little saltier group, I think. Just a little bit.
Move on to race 7. This is a claiming 40 event, 6.5 furlongs for 3-year-old fillies. Keith, you have the 2 Red, White, and Tacos for Damon Dilladovico on top. We haven't seen this one since October 30th, where she ran a big race while breaking her maiden for the maiden 25. Mama's G's Wish comes out of that race and wins.
And a filly, I think, is on the uptick. The Lasix goes on. Damon off a layoff is usually very good. This particular type, solid 25%. She may be a victim of this, some of the missed time with everything. We shall see. But she was able to beat Mama's G's Wish on a fast track. Mama's G's Wish best numbers, came on that sloppy sealed surface. She's positioned right. She looks like to me like a filly that's even going to stretch out as well down the road when I'm kind of looking at that breeding. Fresh, and again, I've got so many shorter prices in here. I think this is a barn that's doing well that I can definitely assume is going to move up a little bit, which doesn't put her too far off of these. So I'll take the shot with the value.
Damon about 24% off this type of layoff. Comes in with 5 works since that last race on October 30th. So certainly is possible here this afternoon. I have the 4 Jacodra's Devil on top for Claudio Gonzalez, coming out of a maiden special weight win at Charlestown. But the race before, going a mile 16th here at Laurel, was a big effort. This is classic Claudio Gonzalez Give him that 30 days or so. Put 2-3 works on. I've seen him do this time and time again. This is his MO. Sharp work, January 22nd, 47-4 right here at Laurel.
Yeah, I think she might have been entered in New York as well at one point. But finds this spot. You're right. She should be sitting on probably close to a top effort. Game Stonks, the winner of that 2-back race, came back to win by 11, I think, up at Parks. It's a competitive group. Mama G's Wish, liked her last time. She is probably the one you maybe can depend on the most. She had a little cleaner trip than Red, White, and Tacos in that race back on October the 30th. Red, White, and Tacos had some traffic early and then had to overcome that to run that one down. So I think this is a small group, but a very evenly matched field for the most part.
This is a nice race.
Yes.
And look, I know it was on the slot, Mama G's Wish in her last start, but she's still the only one that has already won in open company. She ran a good solid figure that day in that win. As we move to race number 8, this is maiden special weight for maiden 4- and 5-year-olds going 3/4 of a mile. And we'll start with 4, Patient Game for Mikey Duralis. Angel Cruz gets the call once again. Big race in his debut, but boy, it was a tough race for him.
Yeah, he encountered some difficulties, but I tell you what, he took a lot of money at the window. You know, Mike doesn't run a ton of firsters. This one was well meant, and unfortunately, right here gets in a little bit of a jackpot. It came away a little slow, but look at this, checking in behind horses into the turn at the half mile, steadied again. The horse on the outside, that was Liberty Star, right, and that had to be kind of, I think, bothered there a little bit as well. And just never gets, Tim, the cleanest of runs. Finally kind of gets out with some air at the 3/16, but just can't quite kick on with a couple of these other runners. But right there, even a little bump coming fast, Mistress. But showed some heart, no doubt about it in debut. And definitely eligible to improve a little bit off of that effort.
Certainly did. I mean, that's a lot of heart. That's a lot of action for a first-time starter. Keeps trying all the way down there, runs a big figure. I have the 5 Mailman's a flyer on top, and I think he finally gets what he's been needing, and that's an outside draw.
Yeah.
I mean, this horse has run 3 times. He's had the 1 hole twice and the 2 hole the other time. Kind of forced his hand a little bit, kind of kept him in there in traffic, but now he's to the outside. You know, he might be able to lay like he did in his first race in clean air and come with a little bit better finish.
Exactly. I thought last time he was going to quite get up, just couldn't quite do it. That was a longer price there for Ned Allard that got it done. He, Liberty Star, both trained by Lacey Gaudet. Kind of tough to split those two, really, in my opinion. You've got a horse on the bottom coming in for New York. A Vet Void last time out. It's part of that speed, but I think he's going to have company up front. I'm a little chilly on the 6 horse. A horse, because the connections might get bet a little bit more as well.
And, you know, I have the moment. I just want to point out the system is working, and we've seen a lot of these voided claims by the vet, and virtually all of them have had time off and come back. So it's working, recognizing horses might not be quite right, cooling out. And, I mean, I'm telling you, almost all of them have a little bit of a break, and then they come back. The upside of this one is he's coming back in the maiden special weight as opposed to the maiden 30. So that certainly makes you feel a little bit better about Immortalization's chances this afternoon. But a very, very interesting maiden race in race 8. Race 9 kicks off the Stronach 5 right here at Laurel Park. And as I said earlier, race 9, leg A here, leg B at Santa Anita, leg C at Gulfstream, leg D, Goldgate Fields, and back to Santa Anita for leg E. I put together a ticket, a $72 ticket, and I'm going to single right out of the bat on the 8 on Rippolino for Kieran McGee. Single at home, I've found. You know your horse is a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
And that way you can spread everywhere else. 1-2-5 in leg B at Santa Anita. Leg C, Gulfstream Park, I use the 4, 8, and the 10. I spread at Golden Gate Fields. 3, 4, 7, and 8, and 2, 7 in leg E. $72 ticket in the Stronach 5 this afternoon. Gets kicked off right here. And race 9, just a little bit past 4 o'clock, 16 minutes past 4 if we run on time, and we have been. So.
And you're no stranger when it comes to giving out the winner of the Stronach 5. So people, please pay attention. $72 might be a really wise investment.
We'll see
If not, next week.
There you go.
There you go.
Race 9 kicks off the Stronach 5. This is a 3 lifetime $10,000 claiming event going a mile on a 16th for 4-year-olds and up. And our top pick in here, Keith, is the 8 Rippolino for Kieran McGee. Look, dropping out of the starter 16s and starter 25s, 3 races ago, going a mile and 16th. That was a big race. We're getting beat 3/4 of length. This, the Angry Man, he's all right, and a win right before that.
Yeah, off a little sluggish at Penn National, just couldn't quite get it done. There is some speed signed on, no doubt about it. Visual Artist, Alpha Q, Pay the Kid, 4 on 7 horses, Super Emperor. They kind of want to be forward. Rippolino, I think the biggest thing is just to kind of get away cleanly and relax early, settle into stride. Should make a steady progression up to it. I'm going to use the other one, other Kieran, Dr. Ferber, as a price. We saw him off of a first-time Kieran with Halite, pay $32 the other day. This one, again, I'll give a little bit of a freshening. I think the 2 turns should work. Won't have to be used hard early to get position. Just let him do his thing and make a run into it.
And the 2 turns has worked for him before. That mile race up at Delaware, that's a 2-turn race.
Yes.
Draws down toward the inside. Will be well positioned at worst going into that turn.
Yeah.
You have interest, and I have interest in the 6 Shambo for Marius Ray, Grant Whitaker. This one's dropping, getting 2 turns for the first time in his career. But that race going a mile, 3 back, makes him a major player here, I think. He's behind Plowman that day. We know Plowman's pretty okay.
Yeah, Plowman's in on Sunday, I think, in a 2 other than, if I'm not mistaken. But, can he get back to that? That's my biggest concern. And he's a little bit better at 1 turn. That's my concern for Chambo.
And this will be the first time he tries 2 turns, so we're certainly going to find out this afternoon. That is our card for Friday, Stronach 5 Friday. But we'll take a few minutes. We're going to go into lightning round. We're going to talk about the big stakes we have coming up tomorrow. Well, we have the 6 stakes tomorrow, but we're going to start by looking at the Jennings. Now, this is Cordmaker. He'll be running in the Jennings tomorrow, and this is his last effort in the Manfuso. Keith.
I mean, very patient ride. Got a nice little setup up front, and Carrasco, once he gets his horse out to the free and clear, it's over. I mean, he is just at 7 right now. This was back when he was 6. At 7, just hitting basically top stride, 102, lifetime best. Amazing. And I talked about this horse, and I'll say it again tomorrow. I'm sure I'm very redundant. You look at his figs. He's about as consistent as a horse at this level that I have seen in a while. Reminds me of a horse like a Paige McKinney back in the day. They just come out and they run the race time in and time out.
For me, it turned around for Cordmaker back in March, in February, March actually, of this past year, when they started to allow him to lay a bit closer to the pace. He had some races where he got in a little bit of trouble trying to come from 5 and 6 out of it. Yeah. And since then, they've let him lay a little bit closer, a little farther away in the mile and eighth Manfuso. But the rest of the race, he's laid closer. He's been able to avoid any kind of trouble. And he's gotten good. He's a 12-time winner of $795,000. As we move on to the spectacular bid stakes tomorrow. And we're going to get to see the return of H.P. Moon. Now, this is H.P. Moon's maiden breaking score at Pimlico. We have not seen him since.
No. The word was out. This was a horse that went through a little unfortunate situation right up in New York. Supposed to go, and he came down to Pimlico. He just absolutely dominated. 81 fig, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Tim?
That is a
Buyer.
81.
Something like you just don't see that first time out here. But got to come off the freshing. This is a group that's got some talent, some runners that are proven a little bit, definitely more seasoned than HP. We'll see if talent prevails. A lot of hope.
A lot of
really good. And I went back and watched Whitty again this morning at Parks. This is another one that's got some talent. Really good field put together here for the spectacular bid.
Nice race. I watched HP Moon work the other morning. Looked really good. Doing it as easy as he wanted to the other day. So, it'll look good. We'll be interesting to see. But you're right, a lot of hope. should be tough. Witty, that's a nice race as we move on to what might be one of the races of the day. This race is a toughie. This is the What a Summer, and we get to see the return of Hibiscus Punch. She was our Fritchie winner. She went out to Kentucky. She ran into a horse you might have heard of before called, Gamine, that day. But look, this was a big effort from Hibiscus Punch.
I'm telling you. And Hibiscus Punch is a horse. Well, this is not Hibiscus.
This is not Hibiscus Punch.
Is it? No.
No.
No, but that's okay.
That's okay.
We'll get back to Hibiscus Punch. But
Sure.
talk about another one, Tim. At 7 years old, at 6 last year, getting into top form, beating those kind of horses. We liked her in the Fritchie. That was it. Right at a big, big price. Could not believe 41-1. And then came back up. Unfortunately, had to run into those killers at Churchill Downs. But is Hibiscus Punch going to need one race? I know they wanted to kind of get a race in, right? If I'm not mistaken,
Sure.
there was an
She
allowance
was
race.
an allowance race. One of the days we got canceled.
Yeah.
And but has to take on a Steve Asmussen horse and Regal Retort, a Todd Pletcher horse, Don't Call Me Mary. So a very interesting race. You got Princess Kokachin in there, and of course you've got the winner of the Willow on the Move, Kaylosaurus, for Timothy Kreiser. So a very interesting race here tomorrow in the What a Summer. The Fireplug Stakes. Wow,
Okay.
what a race
Yeah.
this is. We're going to look at the day's friend. Now, here's 3 rivals are all in tomorrow. This was a big race. This is 3s over Deuces, Youngest of 5, and Penguin Power. They all come to the wire, but now we get to throw in Wonder Where Craig is in the mix tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, these horses ran huge. I did not see this coming out of 3s over Deuces. I did not see Youngest of 5 being able to overcome the early adversity, which he did because he changed complete styles and ran into it. And Penguin Power, off of the break, you're thinking, you just might be slightly below. I mean, it just gave that another huge effort. I didn't see it. These are all quality race horses, but guess what? They're going to have the running shoes on with the likes of Wonder Where Craig is, Jackson Traveler in here. But Wonder Where Craig is will be the favorite, and he's the horse to beat.
Well, my price play comes in this race tomorrow. I've got Penguin Power on top.
Okay.
Jackson Traveler is not going to make it easy on Wonder Where Craig is. Wonder Where Craig is going to need to get away. 2 starts ago, he didn't get away as well here at Laurel Park. Still got the job done. Got taken down late, but there's going to be plenty of gas.
Oh yeah,
there's going to be plenty of gas. So I'm thinking Penguin Power tomorrow at a little bit of a price. Youngest of 5 typically shows speed. I would think he might show speed again tomorrow.
And are you thinking like a horse like, is Gary thinking? Shaq Queen King now turning back in distance, mile 16 to the 3/4. He's been a different horse, and I'll say again tomorrow, since being gelded. Will he be able to kind of roll? Will that field come back to him? Just might, because he's going to be, I think, charging down the center of the track.
The inside draw is not a big deal.
No.
He's going to be coming from out of it anyway. Well, that's a quick preview of tomorrow's stakes at Winter Carnival. We had a nice day of racing, including the Stronach 5 here this afternoon. So we look forward to all that, plus the Pegasus World Cup tomorrow. That will do it for us, Keith. And Dave Robin will be up next with Scratches and Chains.
You got it. Good luck.